8 clips, 1 chilling question. What was captured on camera when ordinary moments turned suddenly, unmistakably wrong? Tonight you'll see 8 uploads, short, raw, and unsettling. Some are flashes of motion, some are whispers you can barely make out. All of them leave more questions than answers. Decide for yourself. 1. Public restroom stall, late night upload. He filmed himself alone, a quick, casual selfie-style clip inside a dimly lit public restroom. For the first few seconds, it's ordinary. Tiled floor, the hum of fluorescent lights, the squeak of a shoe on linoleum. Then, from the row of stalls behind him, a single door begins to swing. Slowly. Too slowly to be wind, too deliberate to be accidental. It creeps open far enough for someone, or something, to peer out. The uploader freezes, swallows, and without turning fully, backs away and runs. The clip ends on the echo of his footsteps. Viewers split the moment into 2 camps. Some call it a prank, someone off camera pulling a bar or a friend waiting to scare him. Others point to the measured, mechanical pace of the door and say it looks oddly intentional in a way that prank wouldn't be. The footage shows one thing clearly. A person fled in fear. What was behind that door? You decide. But the footage doesn't stop there. 2. Home security, partial apparition, legs only. A doorway camera outside a modest home records late afternoon foot traffic. A passerby walks past in full view, coat, hat, the usual distance from the lens. Seconds later, a different frame shows only a pair of legs moving across the scene, as if the upper half of the body never existed. The clip loops between the full passerby and then this second partial image. In one sequence, the legs appear weightless, moving with a steady gait despite nothing above them. Some viewers point to camera compression, frame drops, or stitching artifacts as likely explanations. Others note how the shadow beneath those legs doesn't quite match the light source and call it unsettling. The homeowner who uploaded the clip says they never saw anyone there in person. The footage is the only proof. It's a small frame, but the missing half of a body is a hard image to unsee. Not everything was visible. Sometimes the camera only caught the sound. 3. Backyard pet cam, fence shadow moving too fast. A backyard pet cam sits low to the ground, capturing a quiet yard at night. The family dog snores at the edge of frame when a shadow races across the fence line. It's unnaturally quick, more like a ripple than a creature crossing, covering a long stretch in a fraction of a second. For an instant, the shadow seems to allons to, then it's gone. Several commenters point to perfectly sensible possibilities: a passing bat catching the light at the wrong angle, a moth, or headlights from a distant car throwing a stretch of shadow into the frame.
Others are less willing to let that explanation stand. The speed and shape are, they say, wrong for natural animals. The uploader captions the clip with a single word: what? The dog never stirs. If you're still watching, hit subscribe. There's more footage like this coming. Not every camera captures the same kind of evidence. 4. Parking lot, disembodied, hello. A woman steps out of her car after a late shift, keys in hand, breath visible in cold air. The dash cam records her shutting the door, fumbling with her bag, and then the sound. A clear, calm voice says, hello. No movement, no person visible in the frame. The woman pauses, glances around, and then hurries toward the store entrance, eye scanning every shadow. She later tells viewers she didn't hear anyone approach. Audio-only anomalies are among the strangest because there's nothing to analyze visually, just a cleanly captured word that has no obvious source. Some listeners write it off as a radio interference, someone speaking in a nearby car, or the echo of store music that happens to phonetically resemble human speech. Others note the tone of the voice, too conversational, too localized to be background noise. The clip gives you a voice with no body to match. What did say hello? You decide. Not every shadow is harmless. 5. Abandoned elementary school, 2 tall figures. Mike, an urban explorer, enters a long, empty elementary school just after twilight. Floors creak, chalkboards gather dust, and a child's crayon drawing tacked to a wall seems to stare back. As he walks down a narrow corridor, the camera catches 2 tall, vertical shapes looming near the doorway ahead. figures too narrow, too elongated to be adult people standing normally. They stand motionless for a beat. When Mike notices the shapes and steps closer, they are gone. His breath quickens. He retreats. Commenters notice the uncanny echo between the childlike drawing and the shapes. Some say the video plays like a creepy narrative, like a memory made visible. Practical explanations include tricks of light through damaged windows, coats draped over lockers, or even camera smear during a slow pan. But the shapes align with a sense of warning in the room. The uploader admits he left faster than he planned. Haunted playground or near-perfect illusion? You decide. Sometimes the most domestic places are the ones that feel least safe. 6. Lucia's home. Moving statue and strange sounds. Lucia wakes to soft, unplaceable noises in her house. A light clink, a scrape, a whisper of movement. She sets up her phone to record while she walks through the living room. The clip shows a small statue on a mantel. Until halfway through, the statue's head appears to be turned slightly more than it had been before. Lucia, filmed on camera, whispers that she didn't touch it. She films the space where she slept, the windows locked, and clears her throat in disbelief.
Skeptics suggest mounting vibrations, a loose fitting, or the camera's perspective shift, making a tiny difference look larger than it is. Supporters think of poltergeist activity, objects moving when people are not present, seemingly with intent. The uploader sounds shaken, careful with words when speaking about the house at night. Whether manufacture, movement, or meaning, the statue becomes evidence of unease, an ordinary object suddenly acting like an agent in the room. But the most affecting clip saved its whisper for last. 7. Sandra's music box. Grief, a whisper, and a ring. Months after her mother's death, Sandra, normally lighthearted on her TikTok, starts posting small clips about things in her home that don't line up. A drawer that won't stay closed. A cold spot in the kitchen. In one upload, she opens a drawer and finds a small, old music box wrapped in tissue, along with a handwritten note, short and unadorned, signed in her mother's handwriting. She cries quietly on camera. The comment section floods with empathy. Then a separate clip overlays an audio sample with the music box winding. Under the melody, so faint it's almost a trick of the ear, a soft voice seems to breathe, "I'm here." The uploader says she played the same music box daily as a child. Tonight it seemed to speak. A commenter who identifies as a psychic writes that they see a ring in the footage, an old band matching the description Sandra had posted months earlier, a gift Sandra says she gave her mother years ago. The psychic's note sends others into full-on sleuth mode. Is the ring a clue? Is it coincidence? Is a grieving daughter finding meaning where there is none? Or is this something else? Every explanation comes with a caveat. The whisper could be pareidolia, our brain finding words in noise. The ring identification could be a fortunate guess, confirmed by the grief that wants comfort. But the rawness of Sandra's reaction anchors the clip. This is not just a spooky moment on the internet. It's a person processing loss, and possibly feeling seen. Whether message or mirage, the music box clip is the one many viewers say lingered with them the longest. Not every birthday ends with cake. 8. Family party. Candles blown out by an audible gust. A birthday celebration, friends and family gathered, laughter bouncing off the walls. The cake arrives, candles lit, and everyone sings. Midway through the song, a sudden audible rush of air cuts through the room. The candles go out in an instant. No one in frame appears to have blown them. Arms are still, faces surprised. Someone laughs nervously. Another checks a fan that isn't running. Some at the party joke about a sneeze, a sudden draft, or an off-camera hand. Others watch the clip and hear a distinct gust, an audible, localized noise captured clearly by the uploader's phone. Natural explanations include a poorly closed window, HVA quirks, or someone out of frame.
Paranormal-minded viewers suggest something else, an unseen presence passing through the celebration. The shot ends with the candlelight snuffed and a small, uneasy silence settling over the group. What kind of footage leaves you unsettled? The kind that refuses a neat label, the kind that lingers in the corners of your mind. Across these 8 clips, an open stall door, a pair of disembodied legs, a lightning-quick fence shadow, a voice with no body, 2 tall silhouettes in a school, a statue that seems to turn, a music box that might speak, and birthday candles extinguished by an unexplained gust, one pattern repeats: ordinary life interrupted. Each uploader offers a single personal claim, and each set of viewers supplies theories that span the rational to the uncanny. Remember, none of this is definitive proof. We use words like alleged, appears, and uploader claims because that's what the footage provides, moments that resist easy answers. In every case, there are plausible non-paranormal explanations: camera artifacts, animals, drafts, pranksters, or the human brain finding meaning in noise. There's also the human element, grief, fear, surprise, that shapes how we see and hear these clips. Sandra's music box in particular is a reminder that sometimes what we want to believe and what is literally on the recording are two different things. So which clip will haunt your dreams tonight? Was it the footsteps without a body, the whisper from the music box, or the sudden gust that blew out a birthday cake? Or are you convinced there's a simpler explanation for each: glitch, animal, or prank? Tell us which clip unsettled you the most and why. Have footage or a story you want us to see? Send it to the address in the description. If you liked this compilation and want more uploads like these, subscribe for more. Which of tonight's 8 stays with you after the screen goes dark?